So I agree with you, though. We have to think about not just who's the Republican we want, but who could win.
Yeah.
And what I find worrisome is that Republicans do in 2024, Republicans did what Democrats normally do, showed up, you know what I mean,
Yep.
in great numbers.
The
But the
ground
problem with
game.
the Republican coalition is that our diehards aren't very diehard. They're actually kind of fair weather.
Yep.
If I don't like the candidate entirely, I won't show up. If I don't, what? Imagine a Democrat saying that. And look, sometimes they do lose, but I don't think there's any lack of fervency on their side. Whereas on our side, we're so particular and we're so finicky. And I was at Carla Wagner on the podcast talking about axe my tax, and someone, oh, well, I was at a gun show and she wasn't super talkative. Stop expecting everyone else to be perfect. And what we've done is Republicans in Michigan have done something. It's really the height of stupidity to turn Trump, who was once in a lifetime and exceptional, into the enemy of the good. So because someone's not Donald Trump, they can't be your neighbor. They can't help bail water. They can't make Michigan a better place because they're not a billionaire who's been famous for 50 years. Trump would be frustrated if he heard people talking like that, if he knew that people were using him to negatively, to downgrade their own Republican ticket. You don't need Trump. You need to fight for your family the way you fought for Trump. It's
And get
us. We are the problem.
and get behind the candidates that will do the same.
Whoever it may be, I
Yeah.
don't care who it is because I know whoever it is will deliver closer to my vision of Michigan, even if not perfect, than anyone else will. It's really that simple.
Yeah, every single candidate that we're going to talk about
Yeah.
today will do just like that. Now, there's a couple of them that I'm going to bring up with, John James is one. I said this, I made this statement many times on X, and the feelings are kind of mixed with this. Is John should stay in Congress. I firmly believe that. He lost two statewide races. John, I have his statistics right here. He was able to fundraise very effectively in 2018 and 2020 in his U.S. Senate bids, bringing in 12 million on his 2018. 2020, he brought in 48 million. We both were beat by the Democrats, obviously,
Yeah.
with Debbie Stabenow bringing 20 million and Greg Peters bringing 51 million during those times. In
Mm.
2022, he was still able to raise 6 million for Congress, but he only won that seat by 1%. And so when you analyze that, like, he was close twice, but then he just barely won a seat that he should have won very easily. And
I
looking
wouldn't
at
say he should have won easily. I mean, 2022 was a blue wave year. And
yeah,
so, I was at Fox 2 that day doing Let It Rip before it passed
let it
away.
rip.
And my friend Tori Sachs was there, and I remember I believe she was working for John James at that point.
Yeah.
And so she was headed to the John James victory party, because there were not victory parties to go to. That was the only, speck of winning. And so I actually view 2022 just the opposite. When when a Macomb County legend loses in a blue wave, that tells me how powerful John James is. He should not have won that race. The fact that he beat a guy by 2,600 votes who'd been around 50 years, never left the county, and you're a new arrival to the county, and in a wave year, you overcome the trend.
Well, and you're right about that. He ran two statewide races, so he has the name recognition. It wasn't
Yeah,
your typical congressman.
yeah.
I don't think anyone could have done that. But to go statewide again, I mean, my question is do we have donor burnout? Right? I
Mm,
mean, that's a big thing. He hasn't been, I got his score from the Heritage Action for America, and this is one of the leading think tanks in the United
yeah.
States. They assigned him a lifetime conservative score of only 60%.
Hmm.
That's not good. Like when you're only getting 60%, I can agree with Republicans who are 80%, But when you're close to being a Democrat, there 50%, that's a red flag for me.
Mm.
That was his score, and I think that's where John's going to struggle in the primary. Now, I think if John gets in the general, I think he's going to have a better chance than a lot of these other candidates
I
because
think he's built for the general.
yeah, but can he get through the primary?